Hey y'all, welcome back to The Simple Happy Life. I'm Sabrina. I'm a homeschool mom of two boys ages 7 and 9. And on this channel, I share a lot about homeschooling, as well as some planner videos, which I hope to get back to, especially as I'm sharing how we're planning for this upcoming fall semester. And I'm hoping to share a little bit more with you about just home organization. So if you're interested in any of those things, please subscribe and let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see some more like home organization videos on this channel as well. But like I said, I share a lot about homeschooling and I am in homeschool mode. I've been sharing our book hauls as we build our home library, and I've also shared an overview of our curriculum. I've already shared what we're using for math, which is Right Start Mathematics, and we love this program, guys. We're going to continue using it to the next level, and it's hands-on, it's game-based, and we're going to be reading some stories to go along with our lessons, and my boys love learning through stories, which is why we chose the language arts, science, and social studies that we'll be using this year. So I cannot wait to share it with you. If you watched my curriculum overview video, you already know what we're using, but I'm going to give you some more details about it today. So let me turn the camera around and show you what we got. So we are going to be using Moving Beyond the Page, and I am so excited about this program and all the literature that goes along with it and the cross-curricular connections. While we're reading about a family who's going through a tornado, we're going to be learning about amazing weather in our science unit. So the books I have on the table right now are from the first concept of the first unit, and I'm going to flip through this so you can see more about the program and how it works and how it flows. But first, I just wanted to show you some of the really beautiful books that we're going to be using. Along with this unit, some of the books I'm showing right now are required in order to complete the lessons. And then others I've just brought in either because I know we're going to need them, like the dictionary, or I'm thinking my boys will really enjoy reading them and working our way through them as we do this unit. So I think I'm going to start with a language arts book and flip through it and show you what's inside. So I'm going to start with an overview of the age 7 to 9 level. And the way the curriculum is divided at this level is into two sections. So your students will do a science or a social studies unit every day along with a language arts unit. And so you could just do the language arts units from this curriculum, or you could just do the social studies or science. But I love that they work together, and that's how we're going to use them. So there are 4 concepts that you would be completing throughout the year, and each concept has 3 units within it. Now, from my understanding, you could choose whatever unit that you wanted to do, or choose whatever concept that you wanted to do, but the skills do build on each other. I called and talked to someone with the curriculum, and she shared with me that she uses this for her 2 kids, and they use the same level. And I thought that was really cool because that is what I was hoping to be able to do with this, because my boys are ages 7 and 9. I thought this would be perfect. So like I said, she said you could use it however you wanted, but would suggest if you chose a concept to start with the first unit because they build on each other. But because while they are independent, they do build on each other. So take that however, hopefully that makes sense. But we are going to be using it as they've laid it out and kind of progress in the order they've laid it out. A lot of the topics covered are things that my boys have asked to learn about this year, like government and the rainforest and life cycles, or doing some more earth science. And so all of that is included within these units. So we're going to do that. And I like that it provides me with a guide, and I don't have to pull everything together, but I can build on this and maybe stray from it a little bit depending on what my boys' interests are and what I think would be helpful for us. Now, in order to do this within a year and to complete all 4 concepts, you would just do 1 lesson a day from your language arts and 1 lesson a day from your science or social studies. And I think we are going to do it because it takes 3 weeks to complete a unit. So if you wanted to do that in a regular or traditional school year calendar, that's how you would proceed. 1 lesson a day from each unit for 5 days in a week. We school all year round, so we would probably aim to do 3 lessons a week, so that we could take our time. Or maybe we would do all 5 lessons a week, but we would just do it over the course of a month. And that way, if we did decide to do like a subunit, I don't know, on dogs or whatever else, that would allow us time to do that and not feel rushed. So let me open this up and show you the inside of this one. So I just purchased the physical copies of the first concept of the first unit. I wanted to get my hands on it, touch it, feel it, smell it, all that. But for the other units, I plan to I'm going to be using their online units. I think that it will save paper and that there are links included in the lessons. It'll just be easier to go to the links. They also have it where parents and families can add things that they've done to enhance a lesson or something that their kids really enjoyed or a field trip that they took. And so you can see those online as well. You can still see that even with if you purchase the physical copies. But I just thought that would be easier to do. And I have 2 students using this. So there are worksheets in here. And so instead of having to pull this out or to make a copy for my other child, I thought it'll be easier just to print out the pages that we're actually going to be using. And I don't know that we will use every worksheet, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I love how flexible this is. I'm going to first show you the table of contents. So when you open it up, I've noticed that every lesson has about 8 to 10 lessons. If it's a lesson will take 2 days, it'll indicate that. And then there's a final project, and we love hands-on projects. And so this is perfect for us. If that's something your family is into, then this will be great for you guys as well. I like that they have this summary of skills in the back because not only is it helpful for me, I don't have to do this, but if I lived in a state where I needed to submit the skills and the things that we are working on, this would be perfect to either copy if you have the physical copy or print out if you use the online. Or if you have to turn in what you're doing to a school that you're working with, this is really helpful. Let's see. So everything is just really laid out for you. I also wanted to mention that this is a full curriculum. They have math and they have spelling. We already had our math, and when I looked at this program before, they did not have math. And so I didn't move forward with it, but at the time, I would have still had to find my own math, and I'm glad that we are using what we are using. But I am inspired by their math and the literature that goes along with it, just like all the literature that goes along with their other units. And so I've paired math literature with our math curriculum. I was doing that a little bit before, but I definitely upped it this year after seeing what they have going on with their math. So they have math and spelling, and you would be good to go if you can purchase their complete curriculum. Now, I think I said we've already done that with our spelling too. We already had a spelling curriculum that we liked, and so we're going to stay using that, which is all about spelling. Now, you also need a daily journal, which you could just use a wide rule spiral notebook. But I think I've definitely been inspired by the Waldorf method in some ways. And I like the idea of the students creating their own textbooks and their main lesson books. But what I've seen, I'm trying to make it fit for us using this curriculum, as well as my kids. We've used like some blank pages before to write out things, and that seems to be really frustrating with them. And in moving into a new curriculum, and doing more writing this year, I don't want to frustrate them. So we are going to use lined pages. And I know some of the main lesson books you could purchase that are like from a Waldorf site. have lines, but we also will be using some of these worksheets. And then if they wanted to do some watercolors and I wanted to use watercolor paper, or if they wanted to trace and I wanted to use some tracing paper, I felt like it would just be hard to put it all together. So I'm going to use these folders. They haven't come in yet, but this is just one that I had. So I can hole punch and add them in here. Hopefully that makes sense, but that's how I want to do the journals for this curriculum. So we'll have one for each language arts unit and then another for the social studies or science unit that would go with it. And again, hopefully I explained that well. And I'll share this piece of paper in a second. So that is something that you would need to go along with this. And if you're new to homeschooling, or even if you're not, and you're just trying to figure out a schedule for your day or kind of a rhythm, this could be really helpful for you. And they have this on their website, and I will link it below if you want to kind of see more how their lessons are structured and what a typical day would look like using this curriculum. And then you can think about how you would work in any other pieces of curriculum that you're using. Like we're going to be learning Spanish, and my other son wants to learn sign language, and we have spelling that we're going to be doing outside of this. So thinking about how you would incorporate those other things, coding, music, all that. For us, we're going to be doing coding, continuing coding. My boys really have enjoyed that. So here is kind of like the overview of materials that you would need. So the required books for this lesson or this unit would be How the Turtle Got Its Shell, Tales from Around the World, and then Tornado, the chapter book. It starts out easy. See, these are really thin, and then it kind of progresses in the later parts of the year, or the further along concepts rather. So I purchased 2 because I wanted to feel more like a book club. They'll each be reading their own book independently, and then we'll be talking about it, answering questions. I'll just go ahead and pre-read it. And I mean, you see it's pretty big letters and short chapters. So this will be a nice, gentle way for us to ease into this curriculum and learning how to use it. And I think it'll be confidence building for my 2nd grader as well. And then my 4th grader can focus on the writing more so. So I did purchase these. I want to say I got them off of Amazon or from Rainbow Resource. Some of the books are cheaper to purchase from Moving Beyond the Page. Some books are cheaper to purchase from Amazon or used elsewhere. You can also get them from the library. I've heard of a lot of people doing that and not having trouble sourcing the books from the library. It's just right now it's hard for us to utilize ours, so I just went ahead and made the purchase of these books. So these are the ones that you will absolutely need to do these lessons, but I have pulled in some others that I'll show you in a minute. So I've already showed you what I think we're going to be using for our journal. I'm going to go ahead and pull all of the materials that we'll need together and put them in one container or one drawer so that I'm not having to pull everything out that we would need for the week, or especially not during the middle of a lesson. That would just take too much time and be a distraction. So I'm going to pull everything together. Like the playing deck of cards and all that, I don't have on the table right now, but it's like I said, it's all going to go in one container. And so I need some blue construction paper. I think we're going to be drawing a tornado, and so I thought it might be sweet for like the cover art for our journal, for our literature unit. The folders that we're getting aren't plastic, they're more like cardstock. And so I thought it might be pretty if we did 2 blue folders and then they drew their tornadoes on the cover. So we'll see how that goes. And then we'll need a US map. I have one here that's just from the Dollar Tree. I've left it folded. We've had it for a long time, but I left it folded because my kids like to open it up. And it just feels like a treasure map. You know, it's just like a whole experience opening it up and stuff. So I love the Dollar Tree for resources, but this is the US map we'll be using with this unit. And then they've asked for a dictionary because they'll be looking up their vocabulary words in some of the lessons. And so we've been using this one, and I think it's been really helpful for my youngest because they have the letter indicated on the side, so he knows, that just kind of, I guess, takes a step out of it for him. Like, I'm looking for a word that begins with an R. I'm in the R's. So that's been helpful for him. And they'll need a thesaurus. And so we're also using a DK book. I love DK books. And this is the Children's Illustrated Thesaurus that we'll be using. Again, it indicates what letter their section that they're in. And then, let's see, it says they're going to need an egg carton and some green and brown tissue paper and a paper bowl. I think we're going to be making a turtle. I don't think my kids would like to do that, but they do like to help build little help my husband with computer parts, and they want to build little motors for cars. And so I thought we could work on those fine motor skills and do some hand sewing. So I picked up this inexpensive felt, and we're going to make stuffed turtles using this. And I mean, I'm not a big sewer, but we have some thread and we have some embroidery floss. And so we will use this to make some stuffed turtles. And I think they'll like this project as well. And so while we're reading some or going through some of the other books that I pulled into this unit, they will be keeping their hands busy and working on those skills, those fine motor skills, by hand sewing a turtle. And I think they'll like the outcome of that better than a egg carton turtle, which I think would be beautiful and some kids would absolutely love. I just know my boys wouldn't really, I don't think they'd really enjoy doing that. And then you would need some, well, actually, wait a second. So with this turtle, when we're learning about turtles, I grabbed this book off the shelf, and so pretty. I think this one's from kidsbooks.com. I shared this in a recent haul. But that's not, I didn't buy it for the turtle pages. I just bought it, and then I remember that that it had some pages about turtles in here. And I thought this would be really pretty to pull in and give us some inspiration as we draw some turtles and do some research on turtles. And I meant to share, when we are talking about weather on the farm and life on a farm in that lesson, I wanted to pull in this farm anatomy book. And I think they're going to like going through this during those lessons. So very, very pretty. And so it says we also need a picture book with an obvious plot. I thought this would be a great one to pull in. You can choose whatever one you want, but I just thought I'd keep it on theme. So we're going to be reading this one, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. And this one I thrifted. But it's a beautiful picture book, and I think they're really going to enjoy. They've already read it before, but we're going to read this. I think we're going to do the read aloud of like the full novel and then watch the movie. So they're going to enjoy doing that along with this unit. And that's why I want to do one in a month, so we can kind of space it out and really dive into this. I think they'll be really interested in this this concept, this unit. I don't know if we will stretch it out for this one. I'm not sure that they would be as interested as they would be in this weather unit. So when I go through that in more detail, which I'll probably have to do tomorrow because I'm trying to go ahead and get our first semester planned. I've already looked at some of these other ones, but I haven't really deep dived into this one. So anyway, I will see which ones, we might just do in this 3 weeks, and then which ones we might stretch out. This one is one I think we'll stretch out. And then they'll need some materials based off their final project choice. This is a overview of the unit and the vocabulary that we'll be doing, and then it'll indicate to you again whether or not the lesson is going to take you 1 or 2 days. And then you've got these big ideas, not necessarily questions that you'll ask your kid, but what you hope to learn at the end of the unit or end of the lesson, your facts and definitions, the materials that you'll need, and then it takes you through, it kind of guides you, and then takes you to the activities. What I like about the activities is that there are options. So for my younger child, I might have him do this activity. And I've heard some people say they felt like it was pretty worksheet based, but I feel like it's more recording. And if you didn't want to hand them this worksheet, you could always give them a blank sheet of paper to draw the picture of themselves working on a farm, and then another lined sheet of paper for them to write the paragraph. And so they wouldn't feel like they're doing a worksheet. It would all be their own creation. So I think that's what we'll do for like pages like this, instead of me printing these out. For my oldest, he could choose to do this option 1, or he could do it this worksheet, or he could use his compass and draw the circles to make the Venn diagram, and then follow the instructions, or I could just read him what I would like him to do. And so that's how we will be using this. We'll just keep working our way through. Something like this I'd probably give them to cut out and do. And we just work our way through. I like that they have suggested extension activities, or like visiting a farm. We'll probably do that. That's something we probably can do. A lot of field trips and things I was hoping to do this year will not happen this fall, but they have a lot of virtual field trips, which we've been doing, which is fun. This will be nice because my boys love playing cards and games, and if they're going to be learning about doing a card trick, they're going to love that too. So this is just so fun to me, and I can't wait to get started using it. So let me go ahead and show you, quickly show you the weather unit, because I know this video is getting long. But I'm just going through it and getting lost in it myself, even though I've already read through this unit a couple of times. So in this one, again, in the science and social studies units, I believe you still have between 8 and 10 lessons and a final project. So they're going to have a final project for their language arts and a final project for their social studies or science. And again, you have your summary of skills for yourself to, see what you guys are working on, or if you need to submit this to your state or school that you're working with. And then I don't know that you need the daily journal for your science or social studies unit, but I do think we're going to have another folder because there are some worksheets or recording sheets in here that I would probably print off and give to them, and I want them to be able to put them in a folder. So let me show you what's in here. So the required books for this unit include On the Same Day in March, a tour of the world's weather, and then the kids' book of weather forecasting. And this has got some different activities and things in it that you will be using. And of course, I've pulled in a few other books, and I'll show you those in a sec. But these are some of the common materials that you'll need, like a thermometer. I just ordered this from the site, from the Moving Beyond the Pages website. And you'll need like a globe and a world map, which we have, and just some of these things that you probably already have around the house. And so I really like that they're not making it complicated. I guess let me show you quickly some other books that I pulled off our shelves and activities that we will be doing. Love a good DK book. So this is weather. I also grabbed this one because we've really been liking the series lately, the You Wouldn't Want to Live Without Extreme Weather. Well, You Wouldn't Want to Live Without or Wouldn't Want to Be Without series, but we're going to be using the Extreme Weather book. And they've thought that these comics were so funny. I wish I would have had my camera out to record the laughs of their little giggles when we read the You Wouldn't Want to Be a Mammoth Hunter one recently with our prehistory unit. They had fun with that. Let's see. We're also going to be reading these Let's Read and Find Out books. They've read these over and over, but I feel like they get so much more out of them as the older that they are getting and just understand things a little better. So we have What Will the Weather Be? And these are just really informative, I think. And then we've got Sunshine Makes the Seasons. This is what that one looks like inside. And then the last one, well, for now, there might be more added, but Science Comics, Wild Weather, Storms, Meteorology, and Climate. My boys love graphic novels, so I thought this would be a really fun one to pull in, and I can read this and do some different little character voices while they're continuing to sew their turtles, or maybe creating their maybe they'll create their own comic based off of this as well, because we are going to be doing a comic book unit coming up, so they'll probably want to continue doing that. So this will be fun follow up to that. And let's see, I also pulled this off our shelf. This is from the Dollar Tree. They probably still have these, but I've had this one for a while. But they're really durable because my kids haven't like destroyed it. So I like that. And again, I like the Dollar Tree for homeschool resources. So this is our little weather wheel. And we're also going to be learning, in this unit, we're going to be learning about wind. So I found this wind power kit, and they can build 8 models, which looks super fun. And it's like 3 feet tall, and it can charge the rechargeable batteries that I think they can use to operate their models. So this is going to be fun for them. And I do have another science kit coming. It's like a little weather station. So I think they're going to have fun. Not only will they be making a barometer in here and a weather vane. We're going to see how that goes, because I don't think that'll feel so much like a craft to them as building a really cool science tool. And then we'll also have the kits to go along with it, which I love kits because everything is kind of pulled together for you, which is nice. So I'm going to do the same for this and go ahead and gather all the little pieces that I would need for my units. Here's the unit review and the vocabulary and things that they will be learning within this amazing weather unit. And then this is what a lesson would look like. You have your activities. They're going to be doing a weather log. It would be so cool to go visit like a news station and see how they report the weather. But I don't know if that's happening anytime soon. So again, this might be not a worksheet that I give them or print out, but just ask them to draw a picture of whether they would see outside their window and write a paragraph. I probably will give them this weather log. And I'm just kind of letting you see what the lessons look like. But yeah, guys, I think that's about it. I really can't wait to get started. Here's the make your own weather vane. Not too many materials. I'm gonna build a barometer. And like I said, I am gonna do this one unit a month, and that gives us time to not feel rushed to me. But we'll see how this goes. I mean, if they've designed it to be completed in 3 weeks, then it might go a little quicker than I think. So we will see. But I hope that this video has been helpful for you and getting a deeper look into moving beyond the page. And again, if you just want to start with one concept of one unit, then do that. Just try it. I think a lot of families would like this. And even if this is not something you feel like you could keep up with all year, you might just want to do, maybe you might want to do this in March because they are reading about on the same day in March. So, and we're talking about weather and wind. And so in my area, March gets really windy and it's perfect for kites. And so that's something that you might want to do at that time. Anyway, I can't wait to use this, and I will be sharing this process with you guys, probably more so on Instagram. This is another little toy we brought in. I don't know how it works, but probably more so on Instagram, just little snaps into our days. And yeah. All right, if you guys enjoyed this, please give a like, subscribe, and I will be back with more videos soon. Right now, it'll probably mostly be about our curriculum, and then a homeschool room tour, and then planning for the fall semester. Okay, guys, I'm going to hop off now, go see what my babies are up to, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.